Here we go, family. We're in the house and we need to talk about this. You see, because everybody want to flee from Africa. They want to flee from Egypt. But damn near every organization right now on the planet that you can think of is sitting on top of ancient Egypt. I don't give a goddamn if it's the Bible. I don't care if it's Islam, Quran. I don't care if it's Freemasonry. I don't care if it's the Seventh Day Adventist. I don't care if it's the Mormon. I don't care if it's the Catholic. You can go right there to St. Peter's Basilica and see the obelisk sitting right there in the middle of Peter's Basilica. You see, you can go right there to Washington, D.C., and see the Washington monuments standing right there between Lincoln Memorial and the Capitol building, if I'm not mistaken. You see, giving homage and reverence to ancient Egypt, which is black, which is African. And they have tried for so long to keep that information locked up, you see, behind all these fabricated lies. You see, let me see, all these fabricated lies that they got out there. But it says in Acts, let's deal with this. Let me see if I can get it up here. Let's see if I can get it up there for you so you can see it for yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if we can get it up here. We need to get it up there so you can see it for yourself. A lot of time people, they don't see it, they don't believe it. Sometimes they know it's there, but damn it, they be so, trying to flee from the truth. Yeah, they be trying to flee from the truth. And so we ain't gonna let you flee. We're gonna get on you. Yeah, we're gonna get on you. Yeah, yeah. Book of Acts, chapter 7. They be even the AI be fleeing from me. I be beating the AI up, y'all. Straight up. I be beating the AI up. They be like, God damn, these is mind blowing questions. I be beating the damn AI up. That's a damn shame. They like the AI get an attitude with me. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to talk no more when I get on there. So we look here, right here, family. Let's get it on here for the family so they can see. We don't want nobody to be confused. We don't want nobody to be confused about what they seeing up here. Okay, here we go. That's right. We're in the house. We're in the house. See right here, I'm gonna have to blow that up because y'all ain't gonna be able to see that. Zoom in. Okay, that's better. That's better. That's better right there. And it says right there, we're gonna jump right on in. Yeah, you can see it good. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. And it says, and Moses was learned in all. This is Acts 7. For any of y'all that want that, you can get it. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and in deeds. You see, and it says, when he was a full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Okay, so he was a full 40 years old. You see, he had spent 40 years in the damn in Egypt as an Egyptian, not as an Israelite. You see, he didn't know anything about no damn Israelite. He was an Egyptian. He worshiped as an Egyptian. He worshiped Egyptian gods, Ptah, Khnum, uh, Isis, Osiris, Asa, Aset, Heru. You see, Ra, Amen Ra, Mu, goddess Mu, Baset, Sobek, Tawe Ret, all the god, Neptus. You see, all the African gods. You see, that's what he venerated for over 40 years. You see, and that they had more than 10 commandments. And many of those commandments that he said that God had gave him up on the mountain, he was already practicing in ancient Egypt. You see, honor thy mother and thy father. The Africans had made the mother a goddess. You see, Horus. So when you talk about the holy mother, and so you already know that they honored the mother because you see right there, I said and Horus. Okay, you see right there. So many, and he fled Egypt for murder. We're gonna talk about that. You see, and it came, and it says, and it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Now, how it got in his heart when he turned 40, it ain't came into his heart no other time, but just so happened at the age of 40, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Okay. And it says, and seeing one of them suffer wrong, what it says, he defended him. Okay, I went down too far. He defended him and avenged him that was oppressed and smote the Egyptian. He murdered the Egyptian. You see? So right there, let's be clear about that. Moses was a murderer. You see? He had been raised in Egypt. He had been given a royal education. He was raised in Pharaoh's house. He was raised in Pharaoh's house, got a royal education, new reading, new writing in the Medunetta, because he would have been in the priestly, he would have been raised, educated as a priest, so he knew the Medunetta. He knew the sacred, he knew the sacred scriptures. He knew mathematics. He learned all that in ancient Egypt. And so, all of a sudden now he's something different. Now all of a sudden he's a Israelite, you know. He's a rogue Egyptian priest. He's been educated and learned in all the ways of the Egyptians. So if you see any similarities between the Bible and ancient Egypt, we know why. It's not no coincidence, okay? It's not a coincidence. And he murdered the Egyptian. He murdered the Egyptian. For he supposed his brethren would have understand how that God by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. Now, right there, I don't understand that because first and foremost, God never talked to Moses until damn 40 years later after this. So how would he have even known anything about God when he hadn't even talked to God yet? So that don't make no damn sense. And the next day he showed himself unto them as they strove and would have set them, let me get it, set them at one again, saying, Sir, ye be brethren, why do ye wrong one another? But he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, Who made thee a ruler and judge over us? Will thou kill me as thou didst the Egyptian yesterday? See, so even the Bible say, Thou shalt not kill, but right there, it They trying to do it, but they can't do it. They can't do it. They always coming, they always coming sideways on me. But I'm good. But anyway, let's get back into it, family. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it. The chat GPT, they mad at me too. They mad at me too. Nah. Yeah, here we go. We back in the house. We back in the house. We back in the house. Let me get this up here. Hold on. All right, let's get this in here right quick. Okay. Now we talking about right here where it say in the last period of his life. Now what is so significant? Yeah. Yeah, what's so significant about this? Let me get that back in here. What's so significant? I don't like that small. Okay, there we go. We talking about when Moses supposedly had wrote it down. Yeah, he was supposed to, wrote a book. See, this was in the last period of his life. And so what people have to understand is you cannot put the Bible before ancient Egypt. You understand? That's chronologically incorrect. You see? Because we just went over the fact that it was in the last 40 years of his life. Matter of fact, he was damn near on his deathbed. Yeah, I had it in here, but they didn't kick me out so many times. Watch this. We're gonna put this in there. How old was he? And then we're gonna get back. You see, according to the Bible itself, what it say? Moses was already an old man when he wrote. Listen, yeah. Listen to this. Moses was 80 years old at the Exodus. See, this is why we got to be clear about some shit. You see, because there was no book, there was no Bible yet, there was no Genesis, there was no Exodus, there was no Leviticus, no Numbers, no Deuteronomy, was none of that. You see, so Egypt is already a nation. Ain't no Bible saying that Egypt come from no harm. You see, ain't no book saying Ethiopia come from no harm, and that you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. You see, and it says Moses was 80 years old at the Exodus. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. Okay. Exodus 7:7. Israel spent 40 years in the wilderness. Moses wrote during this entire period. Moses died at 120 years old. So, how old was Moses when he wrote? He began writing around age 80, especially at Mount Sinai, shortly after the Exodus. Okay, listen to this now. Listen to this because this is very, and I'm gonna have to come back on this. See, listen to what it says right here. It says, especially at Mount Sinai, shortly after the Exodus. This includes the law and covenant instructions, Exodus through Numbers. You see, it does not say Genesis. And I told y'all that. And didn't I tell y'all that even to this day? And you can go right to AI and I'll show and goddamn prove. Didn't I tell you that that the Bible never says he wrote Genesis? And it didn't. It never says he write Genesis. Didn't I tell y'all that Exodus was the first book of the Bible? And then you come in the fucking the AI, and what does it say? This includes the law, and covenant instructions, Exodus to Numbers. Okay, Moses wrote his books between the age of listen, about 80 and 120 years old. Okay, more insight. Moses was not a young man nor inexperienced. He had 40 years in Egypt, education, literacy, 40 years in Midian, reflection, leadership, preparation, 40 years leading Israel. Okay. Now, let me ask before I get out of here on this one. Does, oh no, I'm going to say, see, I like asking, I like fucking. Where does it say, I'm writing all crazy, in the Old Testament that God commanded Moses to write Genesis? Let's see what it say. Oh, I put the wrong fucking thing in there. No, listen to this now. Listen to what I say. Nowhere in the Old Testament does God explicitly command Moses by name to write the book of Genesis. There is no verse that says the Lord said to Moses, write the book of Genesis. What the Old Testament does say, God repeatedly commands Moses to write, but the commands are general, not book title. Key examples, Exodus 7:14. Then the Lord said to Moses, write this as a memorial in the book. Exodus 24:4. Moses wrote all the words of the Lord. Exodus 34:27. The Lord said to Moses, write these words, for in accordance with these words I have made a covenant with you and with Israel. Numbers 33:2. Moses wrote down their starting places stage by stage by command of the Lord. Okay. And so all of this. So where does Genesis fit in? Genesis has no internal right command, but Genesis is part of the law of Moses. Yeah, that's what they say. But we just went back and you know, we go back up and it says, you see, Moses began writing around age 80, especially at Mount Sinai, shortly after the Exodus. This includes the law and covenant instructions, Exodus through Numbers. Okay, Exodus through Numbers. Okay, so see, they trying to clean that shit up. The fact is that there's nowhere where, and then, and you ask this motherfucking book, how could Moses write of his own death and burial? Yeah, I like fucking with the AI. Let's see what it say. This is a classic and legitimate question, and the Bible itself gives reasonable internal explanations. The shorter answer: Moses did not have to write every single verse himself. His death and burial were almost certainly written by someone else, traditionally Joshua, without undermining Mosaic authorship of the law. So there it is. So you see, yeah, there it is, man. I'm sick of these motherfuckers. How the fuck he gonna, if he wrote it, he gonna write of his own death and burial. Well, anyway, family, it just show you that they thieving and stealing, and that Genesis has no merit in dealing with the history of ancient Egypt. Has no merit. Because when you open up Exodus, when Moses is a child, he didn't even start writing until he was dead, damn near dead. He was damn near he was past 80 years old when he started writing. But the first 40 years of his life when he was in Egypt, and when the book of Exodus opened up and he's a baby floating down now, Egypt is already in this damn is in this damn 18th dynasty. You see what I'm saying? So you can't come along and then write Genesis and then say Egypt is the son of Ham and grandson of Noah. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You got to throw that away. You feel me? You got to throw that away. But anyway, family, we just getting started for the night. If you're up late and you want to rock with the general, just stay tuned because we most definitely got some fire for you. Get over there to Patreon. We got over 500 exclusive live streams, much on, what we dealing with beyond, just mysteries of the Bible. And I know a lot of people coming in, you come in just a tad bit too late, but come right back. And we got some more fire for your family. Arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black power.